Okay, fuckers, this podcast might never see the light of day. We've had many a technical difficulty today, and it's honestly, I swear to God, the one thing that I look forward to every week is doing this podcast. That sounds a bit weird. It's a little bit shallow, if anything, but I think that might be a bit much, but like, there's not much I look forward to. Okay, it's just a little simple thing. I get to drink some beers and piss about and chat some shit, right? It's good, it's great. And when we can't do it, or when it's having problems and not just going smooth and nice and relaxed, I get so... it's the worst. It's the worst because you have to wait a whole other week before you can even have a chance at it. Pisses me off. My computer's been...
It just boils your piss. It just really boils your piss.
Yeah, my piss. Very boiled. Very boiled. Too warm. I don't want my piss to be that warm. No, my computer's... It's getting slower. It's like, you know, I don't know if you'll know this, but like, I don't know how many relatives you've had die, but you know when you're like... something like a certain relative gets like ill, they might have like a small stroke or a mini heart attack or something, and then after it they don't ever quite recover, and you think, oh fucking hell, you know, they're actually a bit on their last legs, you know.
That's awful.
I know it's awful, but I've had it happen to me like multiple times.
That's terrible.
But that's what's happening to my computer. It's like it's got to the point where I can't stream Apex. I can't stream Apex. I can play Apex or I can stream. But if I stream Apex, the stream lags. Not the game. The game's fine, but the stream can't handle it. And it's not because of my internet. It's because of processing power. It maxes out my graphics card. And I've tried factory resetting my computer so that it's like there's not much junk on it. There's nothing. I've got Little Inferno and Apex installed games wise. That's it. So I don't know. It's just I think it's on its last legs, and that's the other thing. Computers are so expensive now. Do you remember how much yours was?
Mine was $1,500.
$1,500. Yeah. See, that is pretty much what we're looking at. For computers nowadays, but for a jump that's decent enough, like it's hard. It's very hard. Another thing as well that you might have to just put up with in this podcast is a massive delay between me and Judd, because for some reason we've discovered that's the main issue going between. I think both of our internets are fucked at the minute for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But
I'm trying to speak when spoken to, because I can tell this delay is still happening. So I might be quiet this podcast. I might only answer when Jake asks something of me.
I don't think it's too bad anyway. But I did want to ask you, Judd. I think as of last podcast, you still had the COVIDs. Is that still happening? What's going on there?
No. I was COVID-free last time we did the podcast. Right. Okay. I think it was like before that. I still I had it.
But we did mention that you were planning on going to a theatre show while knowingly having COVID, you little bastard, until you started throwing up. Now, I do not agree with this at all.
Yeah.
I had COVID. I'm going to bash on my desk to show my disapproval. I'm sure that'll sound great on the audio. No, it's I don't get it, right? And it's seeming to be that like people are forgetting disease still exists. Okay, like I'm not just saying this disease. I mean all diseases. They all still exist. Don't fucking spread diseases. It's blowing my mind that like, having gone through COVID as a population, as humanity, we should have learnt how bad diseases are and how much more careful we should have been this whole time about any diseases that anyone has, like even like a cold, also anything. We should have been way more careful about all of it. If you've got a cold, just don't just wander around with a cold. Try not to go out at all, and if you have to go out, because a cold's not the worst, wear a mask. Wash your hands constantly, you know, all of that. If you've touched something, make sure you've not coughed on your hands or put your hands near your face at any point, you know, before. It's just like we should have learned all these lessons, and for some reason it seems like people have gotten worse. They've gotten worse with it. I don't know. My main complaint, I'm going to have to say it a bit more quieter because it's to do with the people I live with and I still have to put up with their bullshit until I move out. My mum currently has COVID, okay, folks? When I had COVID, I had to stay in one room for 10 days straight, at least, right? Until I could test again and I was negative. My mum gets COVID and she does basically fuck all. She's roaming all about the house. She's not well, so she's not gone out. She's not felt like going out. But she can go anywhere in the house, touch whatever she wants, go as near as to anyone as she wants. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is this? So I'm having to isolate for someone else having COVID. Because I don't want it. I don't want it. It was horrible last time I had it. It's absolutely horrible. Now, I'm pretty certain I've managed to avoid it. So I have, like, gone out and briefly gone into shops, a couple of shops sometimes, but it's just like, I don't know. It seems like people have, whenever, like, people have opinions about what you were supposed to do for years. It's been going on for years. People have had opinions for years on it, but as soon as they're confronted with it, as soon as they have it, or someone they know gets it, they don't care. Completely change the rules to give them as much freedom as they want to have, whether it makes sense or not. It does my head in. It's really annoying. It still exists, whether it's COVID or whether it's something else, whether it's anything else. Just be sensible. Surely we've learnt loads of shit about this now. Stop being fucking selfish and just doing whatever you want and, you know, spreading diseases to people. I don't want your fucking diseases. That's my That's my spiel at the start. What do you think of that? What do you think of that, Judd? Eh?
That's nice. That was good. That was cool.
Do you agree or not, though? Do you get where I'm coming from?
No, I do. To be honest, when I didn't even want to go when I had COVID. I knew I had COVID, and I was symptomless, but symptomless doesn't mean that you're not contagious. So you know, I mean, I wasn't, I suppose, maybe not as contagious, but you know, it's not an impossibility that no one could catch it. So I didn't want to go. It's just Dad was like, "Oh well, you know, he's saying you've not got any symptoms," and blah, 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 and you know how fucking Dad gets. But anyway, I was sick anyway, so I didn't end up actually going, but. No, I get it. I'm not as cautious with it. Like I don't think people should be walking around wearing masks all the time, and you know, I don't believe, you know, wash your hands, you know, and shit. Yeah, that's all makes sense. But yeah, no, if you know you've got it, you should be isolating. That's I definitely agree with that.
I'm not specifically just talking about that though. Just anything. If you've got anything, don't go near people. You know, just wait till you're better. It's pretty easy, isn't it? And the main thing is we like yeah. With COVID though, especially when I had it, I was so awful. It's just like no one gives a shit. And do you know what was crazy? Right, kind of related to that. I had a weird kind of interaction. I because I've not been going into the kitchen because that's outside of my room, so I've not been able to go into the kitchen to cook anything. So I've had to order food to my house quite a bit, or like go out and grab it. So I have ordered a few things, and my family thinks I just order food to the house without telling them. For a start, annoying that I have to like alert everyone, and that there's a massive like pain in the ass because the dog starts going right at the door and all of that sort of thing. And the fact that to eat some food that I want to eat, I have to jump through so many hoops. Why can't I just do it? Why can't I just do it? You know? So that's annoying to start with. So the fact that I have to do that, and so but they don't like that I don't always necessarily mention that I've ordered food, but I try to now, and I try to go down and intercept my food before it arrives, because I'll order and Just Eat, and now Just Eat has a map, and it shows you like how close your driver is, things like that. I think it's called Grubhub in America. Weird that, huh? Isn't it? I don't know. But it also gives you a notification when the driver's close. So when they've pulled up to your house, before they've got out of the car, it's supposed to tell you that as well. So if that goes off, I'm like, oh, and I rush downstairs and make sure I answer the door quick and shut the living room door and all of that, prepare everything, get everyone ready. Because I have to prepare grown adults and a dog for food arriving. And so I do that, but the thing is, they're a bit rubbish at updating you sometimes. So sometimes it arrives before it even says the driver's set off. So I don't go down and I've not told them. So they get a bit annoyed at me for that. But they're kind of at the point now where they're just like used to it. So if it happens, they'll like sometimes just bring it up to me in a bit of a huff and be like, oh, here's your food. Or they might leave it on the stairs or something like that. So the other day, I got a text from my mum saying, your pizza's on the stairs. And I saw that, I'm like, well, this is a conundrum, because I ain't ordered shit. So I'd not ordered anything. So I sent her, and I was in the middle of a game. Apparently she'd shouted saying, oh, it's here, or she was knocking my door or something, but these headphones I've got, they're like pretty good. And I was in the middle of like an intense game. So I didn't hear at all. So I went out and it was Domino's. I never order Domino's for a start. My family also knows that I order from the local shitty food poisoning place. Shout out to Gino's. It's good quality pizza. It's nice. So I would order from there if anything. So I went down and I'm like, I ain't ordered anything. Even I did reply to my mum like mid game as well, saying I didn't order anything, but I went down and got it and saw it. And as soon as my mum heard that I said I not ordered anything, she was like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean not ordered? And she came out and she was like, what do you mean? Well, who's in it then? And I was like, oh my God, fucking hell. And she was like, right huff with it. And she was like, oh, well, you did never tell us you ordered anything. And that. I'm like, oh my God, I've just got in trouble because the Domino's pizza delivery man delivered to the wrong house. What? Come on, please. Why is it so bothersome? Why am I being bothered all the time? It's always bother. And I'm pretty certain, like, I was just going to take the pizza. I don't care. I'm not that bothered about other people. I wouldn't be bothered about the Domino's employee that got in trouble. I'm not bothered about the fucker who don't get their pizza. They would get a replacement pizza once they complained anyway, so it's not that bad. So I was just going to take the free pizza and leave it at that. But no, I got it. I didn't even get to open it and see what flavour it was. I just got it. I had to go, oh, fucking hell, there you go. Go and deal with that then. And I'm pretty certain my mother, who knows she's got COVID, went and hand-delivered it herself. So that's nice. Come on! I can't. Am I the crazy one? Am I? Or is just everyone around me everyone just going absolutely mental?
I don't know. Yeah, to be honest, I think your mother's always been a bit weird.
No, I genuinely think what it is that the older people get, when people get older, I swear to God, they just go downhill, like, pretty quickly. Like, either as you get older, you notice more and more flaws in people. Just like my computer. Yeah. No, have you noticed this in, like, maybe your nan and granddad, but they've always been relatively old, haven't they, compared to you? Maybe even your mum, but I've noticed it in our dad, for sure. Like, the older I get, the more and more flaws I see with, like, parents. And I don't know if that's because I'm more aware of the adult world, or if it's also because they're developing more and more flaws.
I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one, that. I've always had problems with my mum with the way she's acted.
I've always fucking hated my mum. It's still loud, that mic, Judd.
My mother, to be honest. If I put that any lower, it's gonna not be on.
Okay, so maybe just move it a little bit further away from your mouth then.
Okay. So, yeah, my mum's always been just a massive fucking drama queen, and you know that, and she's always been ridiculous. We share the same dad, so obviously we know what that's like. My nan and granddad have always been good. The only I can point out both of their main problems, and my nan's is too worrisome, and my granddad is too not big-headed. Just sure that he's right. What's the word?
Arrogant? Is it cocky?
No, he's not arrogant. He's not arrogant or cocky. He's just like, no, I'm right about this. I know I'm
Stubborn?
right about this. Stubborn. Yeah.
Right.
So
See, the thing is, when other people other than me are stubborn, it's very annoying because they're probably not right, whereas I actually am always right. So that's the thing. So I can see why that's quite annoying because you're used to me being always right and knowing it as well. Yeah, that's the. Well, anyway, I don't know. It's something that I've definitely noticed that the older I get, the more I just think the generation above us it's just crap. Maybe it's 2 generations. I don't know how many it is, but I mean, that's not excluding ours. Ours sucks as well, just like slightly less, like a tiny bit less.
Oh yeah,
only very slightly. But anyway, what I wanted to take a trip down memory lane, Judd. Do you remember a little old game that we used to play called Dress Up Bulmer?
Yeah.
This might have been the first porn we ever watched, which wasn't porn, and neither did we watch it. That's a bit of a stretch. But for fuck's sake, this thing I've got on my. Show me my Twitch chat, you stupid machine! I've got an app on my tablet that I have to switch between scenes. I use it to look at Twitch chat when my screens are being taken up by other shit, such as Dress Up Bulmer. This is important stuff. Does this app not know that this is important stuff I'm looking at right here? So why don't you describe to us what Dress Up Bulmer is, Judd?
I'm sure we've already talked about Dress Up Bulmer.
For the people who don't know.
Dress Up Bulmer was a game that featured the lovely Bulma from the Dragon Ball series, and you dressed. Oh shit! I've knocked my earphones out. You dressed her up. You dressed her up in different outfits. You get dress up games on the internet. You've seen like a Flash dress up game before. However, you could strip Bulma completely nude. Which, very exciting for an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. So,
yeah.
I also remember
we would have maybe been like 12, 13 at the most.
Where do you think you're going
like that, yeah. But I also remember that if you clicked on her tits, she said like hamburger.
No, if you clicked on her tits, she used to go fluff, fluff, fluff. Speaking of which, I'll play that audio right now for the podcast, so you can currently hear. You can't see what's on the screen. You can only hear the audio, and you can hear the background music. And she says this. I don't know if I'm pretty certain Judd can't hear that either, but
I can't hear it. I can hear your mouse clicking.
He can hear it in his brain. But you can all be safe with the knowledge that I was clicking on a anime girl's titties there. So yeah, hope you enjoy that knowledge. But you're thinking of if you took her panties off, which I will do now. Yeah. And if you clicked on her vaginal bit, she would say either cheeseburger or barbecue sauce. I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Here's what it sounds like.
Okay. Clearly, I'm doing something wrong in the bedroom, ladies, because I've never had any of you exclaim cheeseburger.
Here we go. This is what it sounds like anyway.
Cheeseburger, barbecue sauce, cheeseburger.
So there you go. That's that. But what I wanted to do was I went on this site. I can't remember why I'd gone on it. I can't remember why. I'd gone on Dress Up Bulmer. Oh, I remember why. Because I've been recently sprucing up the. We keep a track of a video game spreadsheet where we rate a bunch of video games, and I was recently sprucing it up with trying to make sure I had all the developers in and the release dates of everything. So I had to look it up, and I came across this game again on Newgrounds, and I just thought the comments were quite funny, because they're from 2020 and like 2021 of people coming back to this, and Squirmy Worm 99 says this is more funny than sexy, and I love it, which I think was the case that we had. I'm pretty certain I never I just thought it was kind of, oh, that's rude. You know, I think it was just like that.
Yeah, no, I don't think we got it at that age, to be honest, because it was just
No.
like it's so like, what the fuck? It don't make
I know,
any
we didn't
sense.
really get it.
It's so far from being something sexual, even though she's naked, that it's just like, I don't think even our brains at that point would have registered anything along that lines. I think even at our age, we were still just been like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. But we've got Justin Kuhn says, we all fapped this before. and Drunk Gecko says, I jerked off to this when I was like 11, lol. God. Which does tell me we weren't alone in this, which is at least something anyway.
I did not beat my meat to
No.
Bulma saying cheeseburger. I beat my meat to Son-Tan animations like a classy gentleman. That's what I fucking.
I don't know what that is even. So
That is you would know if I showed you one of the videos. If you can remember do you remember like the Teen Titan parodies and like the Dragon Ball Z animated parodies on Newgrounds that were like some of the first ever like animated?
No, I don't know still. I definitely don't know still.
Oh yeah, no. But yeah,
well,
there you
speaking
go.
of those animations, by the way, Judd, it's time for this segment.
That's it.
This segment is called This Is Why You Are Wrong. It's where I present Judd with a certain premise. He gives his thoughts on that premise, and I try and convince him why he's wrong. And today's topic is the worst way to die. Yeah, what do you think would be the worst
Jesus
way to
fucking
die?
Christ!
I thought I'll keep
What
it
the
merry this
fuck?
time. I thought that'd be quite, you know.
So it used to be drowning for me, but actually, when I looked up like what happens, like what actually happens to mainly to your brain when you drown, it actually sounds like one of the nicer ways to go, because I think your brain sort of releases some sort of chemical, like your body knows that it's drowning, and essentially it knows that like this is an impossible to escape scenario. So what instead it does, I know this isn't what you asked, but I found it interesting. So what instead it does is it basically goes, right, we've only got a little bit left here. I'm gonna make it good. So it pumps you full of shit. So you sort of like you know drift away instead of going.
I reckon it's like hell first. It must be awful.
Oh, yeah.
Before that, at least.
For the first bit, yeah, like because you're fucking scrambling, you want to get out of there, but then after maybe a couple minutes or so, you sort of just go, oh.
Yeah, I think the actual feeling of it might not be that bad. I mean, obviously awful, but like,
yeah,
compared to some stuff, like I reckon being stabbed is probably worse.
Yeah.
Or obviously burning to death is going to be very fucking awful.
I don't know. This is a hard one. I've got one for you.
Okay.
I've got one for you. Alone. That's the worst way to die.
Okay.
Alone. So we can sit here and talk about like fucking like painful and shit, but really the absolute worst way to die is knowing that you really made no impact on anybody's life. Like you literally nothing. You didn't leave anything behind. You didn't leave any lasting memories. You didn't have any friends. You didn't really have any close family. You were just alone, and you didn't really do anything. And you laid there on your deathbed, knowing that. I think that's the worst way to die, because that's like your entire life. You're laid there and you're just thinking, my entire life was nothing. I did fucking nothing with it. Okay. And that's going to be my answer. That's what I'm saying. What's your answer?
I think spiders. No, I think you've given me an easy ball there, Judd, because I can just dispute that straight away. Everyone dies alone. You all die alone in your brain to yourself. No one else is actually with you when you die. Even if someone's holding your hand and is physically there with you as you die, really, in your brain, in your mind, you're all alone anyway, no matter what. So just dying alone, everyone dies alone. It's quite normal. Plus,
I thought you were gonna say, so just die.
so just die. Plus, I know what you're saying about like kind of you kind of mean dying with a life kind of alone, aren't you? Really, your life.
Yeah.
But also, you're talking to the fellow who's been studying meaning of life, Judd. Like, so what? We don't know that that's a meaningless life. We don't know that at all. In fact, the fact that we don't know that at all means that you can be pretty damn neutral to the fact that you've died alone. In fact, the best theories of the meaning of life currently is that life is... Just forget about it. Life is not a construct that is important. Consider yourself more as a moment within a series of events. A moment in time. Right now, you're a moment in time, and right now you're a different one, and a different one, and a different one, and a different one. That's what really makes the most sense to consider your life as. The meaning of your life is to be a moment in time. No matter what you do, you are that anyway. So it doesn't matter what you do. So it doesn't matter that you've been alone all your life. None of that matters. Don't worry about it. Don't feel guilty about it. Who cares? Doesn't matter. So there's that for a start. But the other thing is, like I said, you die alone regardless. Even if you did a shit ton of things, I'm sorry for the people that this is going to sound awful to. When it comes to it, you experience death coldly and alone and terrified of it, no matter what happens. So this is why I still think the worst death has to be something that has extra horrible elements to do with it. And I've thought for many years the same thing. It makes you even more alone, what I'm thinking of. It's dementia. Dementia is the worst thing.
Oh,
like pretty much
God.
Full stop. Like I really struggle to imagine anything worse, because literally there's a lot of debate as to are you or are you kind of your brain puppeting a meat suit, because that's
sack, yeah.
kind of really, aren't you? Kind of a brain puppeting a meat sack. So the brain is the bit that matters, and that's the bit that's literally failing with dementia. It's absolutely fucking terrifying. Like, yeah. Physical pain, but physical pain ends up being mental anyway. As in, I can take a lot more pain than most people. You can as well. But, so, physical pain kind of but like mental anguish is what you feel at the end of each thing. So, having your brain literally deteriorating and playing tricks on you and causing pain and making you forget the most joyous bits, and not only making you forget about it, sometimes you get enough glimmers of it to make you scared of it, and fuck, he's just thinking about it right now, I'm terrified. It's absolutely horrific. Like, it literally turns anything positive into negative. It can't, there's nothing good. It's all just horrific, horrible awfulness. I can't even, like, try and describe anything or convince anything more, because it's just straight up the worst. It can't not be. The thing that makes you think and feel and experience things that are bad is itself becoming bad and awful. So, there you go.
I think I have to. I
Alzheimer's,
think I just have to give it to you. I think I just have to. It's the one I said.
They're both the same, basically, I think.
I will still give the win to you, though.
I don't. I'm gonna. I've just put the victory music on because I won, but I don't like that victory. I don't like that I convinced you on that one.
You know, if it's like a sad victory, I think you should like make a version of the music with like slow down or
dum 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 bum bum. That's how it would go. But I do have an honourable mention, by the way, that if you had the nous to pick dementia somehow, I had a backup option that I found on Reddit, which is it's called I'll probably butcher this name, fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva. Okay, right. So basically it's a disease that slowly turns your muscle tissue into bone. So it's just slowly freezing you bit by bit.
Oh my god!
And if you
What the
surgically move
fuck?
the bone that's not surgically remove it, you've got less muscle, obviously, but it does what your body does. It heals back stronger. So it just gets more stiff and more, but so you just can't do anything. It's just, oh god, that sounds horrific. But I mean,
Yikes.
I still think that like dementia's a little bit worse. Alzheimer's dementia. I get them mixed up, whichever one I mean, because it's literally your brain. It's literally your brain that's the thing. Fucking it. So there we go. Jolly podcast, everyone. Hope you're having a fun time. Don't we have a lovely jolly time on this podcast? So, well, you've got a choice. Speaking of diseases and stuff, though, Judd. I wanted to tell you, the place I work, it's a charity that raises money for NHS hospital, and it's in the same city that you work in, and it's we fund some insane stuff to help with diseases. It's absolutely fucking mental, some of the stuff that we fund, and I just thought it was interesting. So and do you know what an endoscope is?
Endoscope?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
So it's essentially like a long wire with a little camera at the end and like a light next to it, so that they put it like in your body so they can see like down stuff.
I
Usually
know
up your butt.
what it is. I didn't know. Yeah, I know what it is. I didn't know what it was called. Yeah.
So that's an endoscope. Now, normally when you use an endoscope, it normally goes up your butt. And they shove it up your butt. I'm talking about Judd. They shove it up Judd's butt, and then he goes, ooh, and then and then they have to keep feeding.
Wait a second, this isn't the doctor.
And then they have to keep like feeding it in there and in there until they can see what they need to see in your colon or something. It's normally to investigate bits of bowel cancer, things like that. And when they do that, it pushes up against the bowel and kind of stretches it out so that it can get round. It's obviously very uncomfortable. It's just like stretching out your internal organs. I think Riley Reid's probably fine with it though. That's the first porn star I could think of. I don't know. Did you recognise that one? Judd didn't even fucking care about that one.
No, I know who she is. I know who she is. I know who Riley Reid is.
But I literally can't think of any other porn stars right now. It's only because she's does YouTube and shit now, doesn't she? Anyway, so very uncomfortable. But something that we've funded is a lot smaller. Like, it's a lot smaller, a lot thinner. The camera at the end's a lot smaller at the end. It looks like, if anything, the video quality is better. But they also don't have to shove it up against your intestines for it to work. There's a machine that they have on the outside that essentially uses big magnets that can pull the camera in the right direction round your bowels. Like, they just move a magnet along with it. And it's just fucking incredible. It's just really cool. And that's, like, the least incredible one I can think of currently. They've got another thing, which is the same thing, but it's small enough to go into your lungs.
Oh, God.
It's like as thin as a fucking hair or something like that. It's insane. It can go down into the little fucking cavities in your lungs. That's mental. It's like absolutely tiny, and they can see shit. They can honestly, I don't understand. It's absolutely just crazy. And do you know what I discovered? That I don't know specifically if we helped fund this, but I know it was at the hospital that we fundraise for. They did the world's first hand transplant. A hand transplant. Someone's hand came off, and they got them a new one. They got them a new one, and just slapped the guy on there, and it worked. It works. How are you telling me that's like actually work? That's literally Star Wars type shit. Like, that's literally what happens to Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. Give him a fucking hand transplant. Crazy. It's insane.
We're gonna be having We're gonna be having like back to tanks and shit soon.
Honestly, it'll be in bloody Yorkshire as well. I can't believe it. You'd have thought it'd be somewhere like, I don't know, somewhere with capital city or something, or maybe in Korea, or something like that. But honestly, God, I just can't picture it. A fucking hand transplant. If you were to get, if that sort of procedure became less of like a necessity type of thing, because obviously it was done to this patient because they needed a new hand. I bet my granddad's quite mad now, actually, thinking about it. He's only got one arm that he lost like in the 70s or the 80s or something. That kind of shit for him, really. Anyway, that's a true story. But if it became more commercialised and like hair transplants, you got enough money now, you can have your hairline replaced.
Yeah.
If hand transplants became like that, whose hands do you want? Whose hands are you having?
I don't know. I'm kind of just looking at my hands right now and just thinking, I like my hands. I don't know. My hands have got like calluses and shit on them, and I feel like I've worked hard for those calluses. Like I like specifically this one on my right ring finger that I just like to just gently rub my thumb over like a bit of an artist.
I do see you doing that.
So I don't know. I'm quite happy with my hands. So if I had to get rid of my hands, I want some tough hands. Have you ever seen a video of this like he's some sort of Asian man? I don't know if he's like Japanese or Chinese or whatever, but he's like doing martial arts, and he's got like 3 bricks like put on a thing where you'd hire some wood. Yeah. You'd know about that. You did all of that. So he's got three big bricks on the thing that you'd hire some wood on. So and he does it. He just goes wabam on these bricks. I've knocked my fucking earphones out again. Sorry. He goes wabam on these bricks, and all 3 of them just break in half. And it shows you his hand afterwards, and like. All of this sort of like where you'd strike shit if you do like you did a lot of martial arts, if you did a lot of high in shit, all of that was just pure callus. It was like rock hard callus. I want his hands. I want those hands. So I want my hands to literally
criteria then is toughness. Then you want is toughness hands. See, I was thinking something maybe a little similar, but more skill. Like skill, like dexterity. I'm thinking maybe like do you know whose hands I might like? Whenever you're thinking of like an instrument that you think, oh, I'm getting quite good at this instrument, and then you look up on the internet and there's some 2-year-old Chinese like kid who can do it better than anyone in the world somehow. Thinking I might want those kids' hands. They got pretty fucking skilled hands, and also my hands will age like they'll be a lot like younger, so they'll have a lot more life in them. They'll not age. With the rest of my body, That's what I'm thinking.
So when I'm dead and gone, my hands will be in the 30s.
Yeah. So even when I'm like 80, my hands will feel like 40-year-old, 50-year-old's hands. Something like that. I don't know, something like that. I like that idea.
See, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure the hands do not come with the skill.
Yeah, they do. It's muscle memory, Judd.
I'll be honest with you. I'm 90% sure on this. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not a scientist or anything, but I'm 90% sure that the skill does not come with the hands, and that's why I went for the gross weird. That's why I went for the gross weird Chinaman hands with the calluses, and it's weird because he's gross because of the calluses, not because he's Chinese.
Weird that we both want Chinese hands. Though.
Yeah, we both want. Well, they've got the best parts.
I'm just gonna quickly. They've got the best parts.
Yeah.
Who has the best hands? I'm googling that. Who has the best hands? Who has the best hands of all time? People ask. Says Google. Apparently, Larry Fitzgerald has the best hands. No, that's just in NFL history, and Who fucking cares about American football? Am I right? It's like it's just honestly, it's probably better than rugby though. Anyway,
It is definitely bigger than rugby.
it's probably better than rugby. Judd, something that we visit sometimes are the 2-sentence Reddits. So there's quite a few of these. The biggest is 2-sentence horror. There's 2-sentence sad, 2-sentence comedy, and 2-sentence plot twist. So I thought, well, there's probably more than that as well, but I thought we could go through some of these. We'll do the top this month. Which do you want first?
Gears a horror one.
Horror. We're going through the horror ones first then. Top of this month in 2-sentence horror. Get ready for these to suck, because they normally do. Are you ready? Your total is $9.11. Please pull forward, I said, a single tear running down my cheek as I spoke quietly into the headset. I watched the masked man run the knife repeatedly into the manager on the floor, knowing I would be next if another customer lingered too long. I think they might notice. I think the person you're serving might notice that there's a random dude being nice.
This is like a Wendy's, and it's like not in the car, but it's not like in the drive-through. It's like on the main floor. The manager's being stabbed to death, and she's like, "All right, would you like to supersize that for an extra?"
Acting as if that's gonna fucking save him. Oh my god. Okay. Next. So the next one is where are we? Sorry, I'm just trying to get chat up as well. Right. So the next one is, Daddy, there's someone under my bed! My daughter screamed, but I was too scared to go out and save her. Hiding under her bed in her kidnapper's house, I couldn't help but wonder why she called him that. I'm going to be honest, I was focused so hard on trying to read that, I didn't listen to it myself. I'm going to read it again. Daddy, there's someone under my bed! My daughter screamed, but I was too scared to go out and save her. Oh, hiding under her bed in her kidnapper's house, I couldn't help but wonder why she called him that.
It's the idea that he said fucked and he thinks he's her dad. Why would he be under a bed? How did he get there?
I don't know. And it's so confusing. And the thing is, the top comments on these, I swear to God, it must be like children writing these, because the top comment on this is, okay, that's a nightmare. What? I don't know what's happening. How can I know if it's scary?
Whose nightmare is this? Is it the dad's nightmare? Is it the fake dad's nightmare? Is it the kids? Is it the bed's nightmare?
I think it's the dad's nightmare. So what I think has happened is there's a woman that's pretended to 2 different men that this daughter's their daughter, right? Now, one of the dads has noticed that this girl's got into another man's car, and he's thinking, oh, my daughter's been kidnapped, tailed her, and he's like sneaked in to try and save her. But she thinks that, you know, she calls them both daddy, maybe. It's just confusing and shit, really, isn't it? So that's, I don't know. Anyway, next. My husband laughed at me for just pricking him with a pin after I caught him cheating. I wonder if he'll still find it funny when he tests positive. The top comment is, positive for what?
Can we stop? God, these people get me so angry. They boil my piss.
The next comment is, bro, why you gotta give him ligma? And then the first reply to that is, who is Joe? Oh, God. Fuck. Okay. We'll do a couple more of these before moving on. Okay. You know, I said, putting my arm around her shoulder, a pretty girl shouldn't wander alone this time at night. An amalgamation of voices erupted as she opened her mouth. We are not. You get it? Because she's not.
Okay.
That was not terrible.
But this dude sounds like a pedo. The guy writing this sounds like a pedo because he's almost like setting this up like this is a normal interaction with a little girl. Like if it's horror, like
No.
I'm not scared of a pedophile being eaten by a demonic entity. I actually find that quite comforting.
No, this is why I think it's a bit nuanced though, because it's almost trying to obviously set you up, as in the horror is some sort of like creepy guy going to do something to this like girl or something. But then the horror's not that. It's that there's an entity looking like an attractive lady wandering around that has got multiple.
No. He
demons
said girl. He said girl.
Yeah, I know, but it's like it don't necessarily mean girl, like a child.
He said, "Hello there, little child. I'm going to put my pianos in you." That's what he said.
Well, anyway, do you want another one of these, or should we move on to a different category?
Do another category. We'll do another category.
Okay.
Let's see if any of them can make me laugh.
Comedy, right? Okay.
Like they're trying to like that. Like they're not.
Two-sentence comedy. To put it in perspective, we've mentioned this before when we do this. The top one this month on two-sentence horror had 13. It's essentially 14,000 upvotes. On two-sentence comedy, the top voted one has got 300. So it's nowhere near as big or as popular. So when my girlfriend is depressed, I let her colour in my tattoos. She really likes having a shoulder to crayon.
Okay. All right.
It's all right. This is okay.
That's fine. Yeah, that's all right.
That's not too bad. I'm light as a feather, but the strongest person in the world can't hold me for 5 minutes. What am I? A feather that only exists for 4 minutes. Okay, I'm blocking this person.
Yeah.
Report for threatening violence. No, I'm going to report it for misinformation. This is misinforming. There is not a feather that exists for only 4 minutes.
Yeah,
I might get like banned off Reddit or some shit for that, or lose some karma. I don't know. That's kind of funny though. Anyway, next we've got. Oh, this sounds like a horror one to start with. And then the demon looked at me and said, "May your worst nightmare come to fruition." As he spoke, all my fedoras disappeared from my closet and my Reddit karma reset to 0. It's what's gonna happen to me! No! Yeah, downvote. I don't like that. Fuck you. Okay. My friend Alexei has destroyed 64 Russian tanks and has the highest death count for Russian tank crews. Worst mechanic in the Russian army. Cool. That's like nothing. That's just so so mid. So like, mid, what? That's the latest insult that the kids are using nowadays, by the way. Like, if you're mid, that's like the worst thing you could be called. 'Cause it's just like mid-level, you're not even bad, it's just mid.
Yeah. It's
I don't
like,
think it's actually that bad an insult.
It's like base, it's essentially like calling someone basic, innit? It's the same thing.
Is most common, but mid is like average goodness, Anyway, last one in here then. During the airplane ride to where they were casting for a production of The Prisoner of Azkaban, my agent kept trying to dissuade me from auditioning for the role of Harry's godfather because I was female. Surely, you can't be serious. That first bit went on way too long. Way too long. Yeah, another downvote. Fuck you. I don't like a lot of these. I don't know why we read them. I think it's because they're so bad we get to cringe at them.
Yeah.
Do you want two-sentence sad or two-sentence plot twist?
Give me some plot twists. If it can bog my tiny little brain.
Has there even been any this month? Oh, fuck!
It's been a lot.
No, the top voted one has got 69 upvotes, but the first sentence is, "Hi, Jacob." That's my fucking name.
I think it's pretty good.
And then the second one is, "He didn't say hi back."
Right, close it down. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm scared now. Close it down. I'm not even laughing. That's scary.
What? What is this? I'm commenting on it saying I don't understand this and I am freaked out because I am called Jacob. Please help. Send help to my address, which is 1234. Help. I'm scared. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, next.
Cool.
Okay, the next one is: on 100 acres of farmland, I plant crops on the northern 50 and leave the southern 50 fallow. Next year, I plant on the southern 50 and leave the northern 50 fallow.
So actually, what?
On 100 acres of farmland, I plant crops on the northern 50 and leave the southern 50 fallow. Next year, I plant on the southern 50 and leave the northern 50 fallow. Oh, cool. I hope your farm does well.
Yeah, okay.
Do we just not get
what?
these? What's this?
Yeah, to all our Seattle farmers out there, if anyone can tell us what this means.
It's been given the tag, I hope mods wouldn't remove it. For a start, as the grammar on that's not good. But why? Why would they remove it? What?
Because it's shit.
I suppose that's a reason why they might. Okay, last one. No, we're going to do two more on plot twists, because they both have been posted with the same image, but by different people, and they've been given the tag, not able to decide. Here we go. I like watermelon. That's when I realised I don't like watermelon.
What? What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about?
This is an actual 9-year-old.
What are you talking about? Who are your parents? Shut up! Fucking hell! End this segment. End this fucking segment.
No. There's another one with the same picture. This is gonna be just as bad, probably. So just brace yourself. Do you send us plot twist? Are you ready? There are 2 wolves inside you, and you think to yourself, this furry convention is going amazing. Okay.
All right.
This should have been in comedy, but okay, fine. I saw it coming as well, I'm not going to lie, but okay. Thank God we ended on one that wasn't the worst thing I've ever heard.
Not too bad.
Do we want some 2-sentence sad to cheer us up after that?
They do the opposite, don't they? Go on, cheer us up with some 2-sentence sad.
So, I think this is a bit of a meta Reddit joke, so it probably won't work very well. It's got 1.6k upvotes. A mod here killed my best friend while drunk driving, and then the second sentence is removed. It's because if someone removes a comment, it just says removed in certain brackets. Or if a mod removes a comment, and they remove their friend. Do you get it? Because one of the Reddit mods did it. Remove their friend from life. But the second sentence was removed because I don't know. It doesn't translate well. Anyway.
Wait, was that a sad one? Because that sounded more like a plot twisty one. More than anything, I guess. I don't know.
After coming home drunk, me and my wife had another argument, and in a fit of rage, I threw a new vase at her face. Now her ashes are scattered all over her portrait. What the fuck?
Because he's crazy!
Oh my god, you liked that one, huh? I'm upvoting that one, not for the reason. Oh my god, some people are ridiculous. Like, one of the comments that's got 38 upvotes is just, damn, ... Damn.
Sorry,
that's sad, man.
Before...
Another one's but, whoa, original.
Oh, you finished it, and you were just like, you know, fight with my nana just threw a face at a fucking face. And I just imagine her like, oh, sweetheart, I've asked you 3 times if you could clean your room. Could you just please?
Oh God! Right.
Fuck you, grandma, you bitch.
We've got this one. They listened silently as their friend finally opened up about the abuse, the drunken molestation, the gaslighting, and the agonizing isolation. And they laughed uproariously about how weak someone would have to be to let a woman do this to them, and how he must be lying or exaggerating. And he laughed too, by now thinking the same. What was the laugh there?
Wait, what? Who
So
are
it's
we,
like
who are we following in this
apparently
story?
it's a fella that's been abused by a woman, but because it's a fella, like the mates are laughing at him trying to open up about it because, like, oh, what a pussy here! I can get abused by a woman.
Oh, that it was really shittily
I know,
worded.
that's the main problem with these.
Yeah, I thought it was like, I was like, what? The dude is laughing whilst he's
Well, he does at the end. He like laughs with them. Oh yeah, I'm shit, aren't I? You know, because toxic masculinity
Right.
and all that.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
I mean that is quite sad in real life, but like this is not massively
Yeah.
sad in these sentences because they've written shit sentences.
Yeah.
Anyway, next we've got.
It's
God, they're all
these
so
remind
long.
me.
They can't fit them into 2 sentences. What they do is they write about 5 sentences, but they use commas instead of full stops, and it just makes them so long and wordy. As Superman swooped into the sky, the little girl who he'd just saved from the train wreck made him promise to come to her birthday party the following week. Forlornly scanning the skies, she mournfully told her stuffed doggy, "He's not coming, Scraps," as on the other side of the world, the guilt-ridden Man of Steel dealt with the aftermath of a huge volcanic eruption. Oh.
What? It just seems like he's got fucking other priorities. And so, hold on. If I'm Clark Kent, I'm fucking dealing with some shit. My mind is on the shit I'm dealing with.
Fuck your microphone's not that. Jesus, just move it away from your gob a bit while you're screaming.
If I'm sorting out some shit, if I'm fighting Darkseid, I'm slugging it out with Darkseid. My immediate thought is not.
Oh shit!
I was supposed to be at fucking Kathy's birthday today. Darkseid, stop. Time out. Listen, I'll let you have Ohio.
Oh shit! No, that's where Kathy's birthday is. You can have Idaho.
I'm in Idaho.
He's already taken it. Oh, now Kathy's gone.
Shit.
Well, at least I got out of the birthday party.
Superman, I hear you have come to this planet for Kathy's birthday. I'm here to put an end to it.
Oh god, I like the idea that that was Darkseid's evil plan all along, making Superman miss a birthday
I've come
party.
to make you miss that little girl's birthday party.
Oh,
you
Jesus.
bastard!
Right, well, I think that's all we've got for today, because fuck me, I don't want to risk, the rest of this podcast fucking up. I think we're fine, though. I think it's kind of leveled itself out. You got anything else, Judd? Anything else you've been up to?
I've been hermiting because as you know, I recently got the new Borderlands line of game, Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
How far through are you on that?
So I'm not too sure. I feel like I might be about halfway. It's just I don't really care about the main story too much, so I'm kind of like just doing everything.
That's not a good sign.
It's not gonna get a good rate in this game, I don't think.
Do you think you've played enough of it to rate it?
No, because I want to at least finish the main story, because it might turn around and I might go, oh, this ended up being really good.
It
So I don't
can't
know.
turn around
I'll just.
that much. If you're like halfway, it's already had half of it being like, eh. So it's not gonna like. I can't see
Yeah.
how that could ever crack a 90, for example.
Oh, well, no, it's not. But I need
Or,
to.
you
I
know.
need to. I need to see because right now it could place anywhere between 40 to 60. It's
Right.
really how like varying it is. So I just I'll be able to give you a decisive answer on that
Well,
next week. I should imagine.
Just so the people listening to this podcast know, I missed an esports tournament I was wanting to watch to record this podcast, and I missed my team doing a comeback and winning a game. So you're welcome, everyone. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're welcome,
Yeah.
all of Seattle. I hope Kathy's not having a
Seattle.
fucking birthday there anytime soon.
Yeah, because I'm fucking missing it. So fuck you. Tweet at
I'm
Tweets
missing
Badly and say, I'm sorry, Daddy, for making you miss your nice program that you wanted to watch. Go
Don't
Go
call
on.
us daddy.
Do it.
Don't.
There you. Anyway, that's another podcast. If you're gonna die, try not to die of dementia. Fucking hell, that might be the worst ending we've ever had. Why? Sometimes I quite like having ADHD because it makes me. I just let it run my mouth for a bit without thinking, and it comes up with some stupid, funny shit that then I laugh at myself. But sometimes it does things like that, and yeah. Good night.